Welcome back to our next section, where we will learn how to create a simple process model from start to finish. We are in the modeling environment where the process modelers are able to create folders, diagrams, and process-related objects such as roles, systems, and documents. On the top, we have the different repository objects which are used to describe and complement our process models. And below, we have our folder structure where we can start creating our first process model. First, we would like to create a distinctive folder for all the processes that we will be creating in this course. We will choose Add Object and will select the folder object from the drop-down menu and label it accordingly. Once in the folder, we can select the New Diagram button to create a process object. Here we are given 3 options to create a process. We can import it from another repository or our personal hard drive. We can use the Quick Map view, which is a streamlined functionality for process creation. Using this option, you can quickly create a simple process model based on a populated information in a table format. This is recommended for people with no prior modeling experience who want to create a first high-level draft of a process. And the third option is the diagram view, which allows us to create different types of models, such as journey maps, navigation maps, enterprise architecture, value stream maps, and most importantly, BPMN diagrams, so we will select this for the purpose of our course. Then we will give the process a title and we can add an optional description. I'd suggest to keep the version number as suggested by the system. You can only decide to tick the Watch this object box if you like to receive notifications in the system when any changes have been made to the process from another user. And then select Finish. This will open a blank white canvas for us to start creating our first process model. As you can see, we have a lot of menus and functionalities available to tailor our process. Let's start with the Shapes panel on the left. This gives us the full list of BPMN elements that we can use for our process design. Of course, this list can be customized, so only the most common and important elements are visible. The shape layout and color can also be changed. So we can start with the generic event element as a starting point of the process. The generic event element is used for both start and end event. So we can drag and drop the element into the canvas. Immediately, we get a hint that the start event always needs to be followed by another element. Once we have the start event, we would like to have our first task or step of the process, so I will navigate to the generic task element and drag it into the canvas right next to our start event. Now we need to connect the two. I will select the start event again and find the little orange circle on the right as we want to connect it to an element to its right, and we'll drag that to the task element. And this automatically creates a sequence flow between the two elements. Another quicker way to do that, if the two elements are close to each other, as in this instance, we can simply click on the orange circle once and done. Okay, now we would like to have our next task of the process, so we will follow the same approach, find the task element from the Shape panel and drag and drop it after our first task. And we'll connect the two tasks by selecting our first task and clicking once on the right-hand side circle. The good news is that you can do these steps much faster with one click only. To create our third step of the process, I will simply click the orange circle of the previous task, and this automatically creates our next task with the connecting arrow between the elements. However, if for a next element you require a different element, you can still use the same functionality, but this time you can select the desired element from the pop-up shape window. Once we have all our process steps created, we would like to complete our process model with an end event indicating the process completion. For this, we can use the generic event, which I will place after the final step of the process and link them together. Once linked, you can see the border of the end event has become larger to indicate that this is an end event. And this is how you can create a very simple process diagram in Process 360 Live.